Hey, this is Professor Homa here, and I'm going to review getting started with Blackboard for those of you who are new with Blackboard. You can get the Blackboard from the Warren homepage just by clicking on the Blackboard link, and you'll have a place here where you can log in. Keep in mind this is a pretty old version of Blackboard. When you log in, you're going to have your ID number. It should be a 5-digit number. I'll put in mine, and you should have a unique password, and we'll log into Blackboard. And you should come to this page where you'll see a bunch of courses down here. You may see one or two, you may see a lot. I have a lot here. I need to delete some, but some of them I keep from semester to semester to work on. But either way, you're going to come down to my courses. Don't worry about my announcements right here. This is where you want to see your courses. I'm going to use this first course here as kind of a sample to work with. So I'm going to click on that link. Okay, and I went right into this 3D modeling and animation course. You can see there's some colors over here, which I'm going to show you how to change. Sometimes they show up with some odd color in there. Actually, I kind of like this stone color right now, but if you'd want to change that, you could do that easily, and I'll show you how to do that right away. Any changes you want to make to your Blackboard interface or anything you want to do as an instructor, you want to pretty much go through the control panel. So if you go down to the control panel, first thing you want to do, they have managed, some of these are kind of confusing, but they have manage course menu and course design. Use course design when you want to change the look of it. You could go into course design and they have course menu design, manage display options. Just use this first one. And you can see here, here's the stone one I'm using right now. If you go to the gallery of buttons, you have a choice here of all different kinds of buttons. Obviously you'd want to keep it, I like to keep it so it kind of blends in, or it's you know, it goes with the burgundy, so I might use like a gray or an off-white, and I might even use kind of a red like this that matches the red up here. And notice these all have patterns on. You don't have to use patterns. If you just want a solid color, you can go over here to a solid color and just choose, this is one I use, I think, which matches that pretty well. I'll just change these all to red, and you would just have to go down here to the lower right and hit submit and hit OK. Now I don't see them yet. That's because I'm still in this kind of, if you use your bread trail map here, or your I guess that bread trail map, I guess that's correct. You can go back to your main course here the way students would see it, and now I see my buttons are all that red color. Now if you use a light color, it'll show up in black. If you use a dark color, the type will show up in white. Okay? Now next thing I'm going to do is show you how you could change some of the information on here. Now you could delete buttons, you can add buttons, you could change the way they look. Just for example, I have staff info as the first one here. Let's say I wanted to make it called faculty info, and I didn't want it to be first, I wanted it to be second. You'd go into control panel, and you'd go into manage course menu, and this is where you'll see your actual menu, and here I have staff info. If I wanted to change that to be faculty info, I go all the way over here to modify, and I could just type this in and change that to be faculty. And they might have some options here that you could use, but I'm going to do that, and I'm going to hit submit, and I'll hit OK, and now it says faculty info. If I didn't want that to be the first one, I could just select that, make that number 2, and you could see that bump down and announcements went up to number 1. If any of these you wanted to remove, there's a remove button, and any of them you wanted to change or move around, you could do that too. And you can even add buttons too by using this tool link. One of the things you're going to want to look at first, other than making it look all nice, is checking out your students. They have this list modify users under user management. So I'm going to go into list modify users, and there'll be a search there. And basically what you do is you just hit list all and then hit list all again. And then you'll see your course. Now these are just kind of bogus names I put in here to protect the innocent, but you'll see your name on here, and what you'll see is their name, their ID number, and emails. Now, they may be emails that were in there when they first started, when they first registered. They may be an email that they don't want to use. For example, if Lynn Smith here did not want to use her student.warren.edu email, which she doesn't have to, you'd want them to use their email that they check the most. You can change that. They can also do that on their Blackboard account, but you could change that. You could go in here to properties, and if she tells you, well, I'm just going to use my Gmail account, you could go in here and just change this to Gmail. You know, and maybe it's some, you know, maybe it's Ly Smith or something, that's her new email, and you could hit submit and hit OK. A lot of these you have to hit submit, then OK, and now you're back to your list modify users. If you wanted to go back to control panel, you could go back here. Now, why would you want to change that? Well, maybe you want to send everybody an email. Especially if you're teaching an online course, at the beginning of the course, you might just want to send out an email just to see if everybody got it first. So I'm going to go out to send email. I'm going to go to all users, and I don't have to go through this. You put in a subject, you put in a message. If you need to attach anything, you can, but I wouldn't do that the first time. Notice it does copy you, because there's not a place in here where it'll show you emails that were sent. There's not a sent folder that you'll see in here. So the only way to keep track of sent emails is take the one of yourself and just throw it in a folder somewhere in Outlook. That way you'll know you'll have a copy of an email that you sent out. So you could send an email here. If you didn't want to send it to everybody, if you just wanted to send it to one person, you could just use, I think they have single select users. You could go in here and say, I just want to send one to Lynn Smith because I had her email wrong the last time. And then you could send it to Lynn Smith and your email. Be careful sending things out. Try to make the subject not so generic that it gets thrown in spam. That happens in the beginning. People will they didn't get your email and it gets thrown in spam. So be more specific here about an email. And that's it for now. So I'm going to stop here with just this basics. If you want to get back to your page to see how students again, just click here on your breadcrumb. I was saying breadcrumb trail. So here's what they're seeing. They're seeing announcements, and I'm seeing announcements. I didn't put any in yet. I'll go over that next time.